something I want to quickly talk about, and that is gyms in Japan, right? Now, I'm not the absolute expert, and I don't know every single gym that's out here, but I can say that when I was considering moving to Japan a little over 2 years ago, I started looking into the gym situation because obviously I like to work out. And now that I'm here, I thought I would give you a little insight of what my experience has been so far and what options you might have if you're on the lookout for a gym in Japan right now, or if you're thinking about moving here, right? So number one, when I was first looking for a gym in Japan about 2 years ago, there wasn't that many options at the time. So there was probably like, I don't know, gyms that mostly ranged in the price of $100+ a month. Mostly, from what I could tell, it was more like $150 to $250 a month for a gym. Now, that's quite expensive. That's something you might expect to see at a gym like Equinox back in New York, which is, a luxury gym, which you get a bunch of unnecessary luxury type stuff. In this kind of case, you're not going to really get a whole bunch of luxury, but more so just a lot more weights and things like that. So that is obviously can be a problem because it is extremely expensive. But if you're one of those meatheads, one of those types of people who really enjoys working out and stuff like that, and like being around like-minded people and that whole lifestyle's everything, well then that's probably the kind of gym you want to pick when you come here. But at the same time, there's a bunch of other types of gyms that might be more beneficial. So if you're like a student, there is a cheap version of gym you can pick. But while it is maybe like $20 or $30 a month, but you're not really going to see any free weights. It's going to be all machines and treadmills, and that's about it. And it's very narrow, small places, and it's quite crowded during peak hours. So if you're a student that can go to the gym at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, that would probably be your best bet. But I'm gonna say that most people probably opt for the middle ground option, which is the one I chose, and that's like choosing a Western style gym that comes from the West, that's now starting to get bigger and grow here in Japan. And that's gonna be for me, Anytime Fitness. Now there's other gyms out here that you should pick from, but Anytime Fitness is the one that I happen to choose. And then there's gonna be there's more that you can see that like other people that have chosen that one as well. Like most of my friends out here have all chosen to opt for that option. So that being said, Anytime Fitness is good for the main reason. The fact is that like you can, once you make a membership there, you can go to Anytime Fitness in the world, and there's a lot of Anytime Fitnesses here in Tokyo. So we have a lot of different options, locations you can go to. You log in simply with just the key, so it's really easy to kind of go in and out if you're coming from work or school or whatever. But also the main reason why I think it's a good option is primarily because it's quite inexpensive compared to like those bigger gyms, but you still get the majority of the options that you need for working out. So for example, Anytime Fitness back in America, for example, you will see probably about 4 to 5 benches, maybe 5 is probably a little excessive, but at least 4 main benches and a lot of, like, quite extensive rack of dumbbells. Here in Japan, just imagine an American gym, but just cut it in half. And so you'll be able to bench with free weights and things like that, but it's really going to be more like on a squat rack. You're gonna have to adjust for it, and you might have to wait for someone to finish doing the squats or whatever it is that they're trying to do, which is really nothing too crazy or bad or anything like that. But and for the most part, I haven't had any real issues in terms of like availability. Every once in a while, something I want has been taken. That's any kind of gym for you, and there's always something to do you can find when it comes to dumbbells and stuff like that. There isn't any real locker room situation in my gym. There might be some in others, and if you do, and you might have to pay for a locker if you're looking, but that's nothing too unusual. But there are different rules to gyms in Japan, and one of those rules is you have to clean up after yourself. Now, while in the West, it's people would like you to clean up after yourself, but it's not considered necessarily a rule. It's more of like a nice thing to do if you can. And so, but you know, Japan makes it very easy for you to do so, even though it's absolutely expected for you. So when you go to work out in Japan, the machines themselves are all going to contain squirt bottles, or at least one in very close proximity, and you'll have a cloth usually attached to the machine that you can use to clean. So they really take care of the hard part for you, which is just like going out of your way in the middle of your workout to go and bring it back. So they make it quite convenient. Now, one of the other things for rules that you're gonna have to expect in Japan is that one, you know, cultural things aren't the same everywhere, and one of the rules is that you're not allowed to expose tattoos. So you can have tattoos, but you can't expose them. So I actually am wearing a shirt kind of like this. It has a long sleeve and it has even this little wristband here, basically kind of like that. And the reason being is because obviously I have a lot of tattoos, so I can't expose them all, which is really nothing too crazy to have to deal with. It can be a little warmer at times, but some people like that, so it is what it is. But you know, basically I got it pretty easy because I don't really have any leg tattoos, and I definitely don't have any face tattoos, so not too much to worry in that department. But if you have face tats and you have tattoos that cover your whole entire body, you're gonna have a really warm session in the gym if that's what you expect to come here with. Now, not all gyms maybe don't require you to cover all your tattoos up, but here they do. Another thing you might have to do is that not all gyms do it here, like mine for example does. You're gonna have to pay for water refills. So you can bring a big bottle of water yourself, and that's fine, but I'm one of those people who like to fill my water bottle up like 4 times at the gym. So there's a machine there, it costs about 1,000 yen, roughly $10 a month, just to fill up your water bottle. Well, the good thing is it's always cold, it's always clean, and you don't have to worry about people putting their mouth on it and stuff, you know. And it just fills up your water bottle. It's good quality water the whole time. In my opinion, if that's your gym style, it's worth it to kind of pay for that extra. Alright, so I'm just coming out of the gym. A couple points I wanted to make real quick. The last bit of my video got kind of cut because there was some noise, you know, as I was entering into the gym. But you got about 3 different options to pick from in the end, right? If you're looking to have a meathead lifestyle, lots of weights and stuff like that, which would be ideal, but the pricing would be a little high. You're looking at $150 to $250 a month. Maybe not so much luxury, but definitely a lot of with weight options to live with. If you're a student or someone who's just working on a budget in general, those smaller gyms, which are very narrow, maybe 25, 30 bucks a month, those are definitely affordable, but you're gonna be fighting for space. And then you got the mid-range Western gyms that have come to the US that are trying to cut the market down a bit, and like mine, which is Anytime Fitness, seems to be the most popular gym choice even amongst the Japanese here right now, because like for example I pay about $80 or something like that a month for my membership. With the extra frills and thrills I'm paying, I don't know, anywhere between $80 and $90, I can't remember. While that's still expensive to a lot of people, you might find a price like that somewhere in Manhattan, so it's not too shocking to you. But if you're coming from like Arizona and you're still paying 35, 40 bucks a month for a gym, that might still be steep. But it's really the most in-between option here in Japan, and you get a lot of great flexibility in terms of hours and weights to use. So right as I was entering into the gym, I managed to take a couple clips of, you know, what my gym looks like on the inside and get an idea of what I just talked about. You can kind of see what kind of machines and things like that are available to you. And I'm pretty sure, because like, while I do live in Tokyo, I don't live in the most popular part of Tokyo where it's not like Shinjuku or Ebisu or anything like that. So my Anytime Fitness might be a little bit smaller compared to some of the other Anytime Fitnesses around here. For example, one of my friends last night told me that he goes to Anytime Fitness, but he doesn't pay to refill his water, but in mine you do. So here's a quick, to take a quick little gander at basically what my gym is like and what you might be able to expect in Japan in terms of size, accessibility to weights, and you know what the machines and stuff like that look like. So see you on the other side.